for a period of time. Oh my god, back to back? Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So we're going to be pulling some shards today, but I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys real quick beforehand. These videos usually do pretty well. I usually get a lot of new viewers, right, because everyone loves watching shard pulls. And I just wanted to say, hey, if you would consider subscribing to the channel, that would be a big help to me. We are very, very close to a goal that I set for myself many months ago of 5,000 subscribers. We are very, very close to that goal, and I could use your help to get there. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking that button for me, as I would super appreciate it. But let's talk really quickly about what we're going to be doing today. So we are going to be pulling a lot of different stuff. There is a champion chase going on. Now, this is not a particularly special champion chase or anything. I'm not pulling because I think this is a super good champion chase, but I am going to pull most of what's on my account saved up. In terms of ancient shards, we also have the summon pool. I've got a remnant summon I'm going to do. I don't think I'll pull the fragments. I'll probably save these fragments for mod, to be honest, but we'll see if there's value in them, if they would give me an opportunity to, you know, to get a good reward in the tournament. Then I might consider doing that. Like if I'm close to a legendary book or a mythical book, I'll certainly consider pulling those extra voids to get me over the edge. So we'll analyze that later. We are pulling on both accounts as well. So on the free-to-play account, we've got less stuff to pull over here. We don't have a remnant summon. We don't have any fragment summons right now, but we will be pulling the summon pool, one in there, and then we do have ancient shards to pull over here as well. So yeah, that's going to be everything. Let's get started real quick. If you're looking to be part of my account takeover series, join the Discord below. But a little heads up, I'll be prioritizing accounts that were started with my exclusive promo link. This will also guarantee you a free legendary Elenaril and 3 amazing free epics as you level up. Here's what you need to do. Log out of Player and Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. You'll get Elenaril for free, along with Uugo, Tagoar, Rector Drath, and a better chance at a takeover, so click my link right now. I did want to say one quick thing about the free-to-play account. You know, why am I necessarily pulling shards? Well, I'm not going to go for the next fusion, and I always like to pull my ancients when I have 2x chances. Now, there is obviously the possibility that I should start maybe saving my ancient shards and maybe going for more legendary specific, you know, going for like the double legendary events and things like that, or maybe even going for champ progressive chances. And the reason I say that is because I need very specific champions to start evolving this account. This account is stacked. If you guys don't know that already, I've got a lot of videos on it. But while it is a free-to-play account, it has a lot of really good champions, but what it doesn't have is, you know, a top tier S tier support, which is what I really, really want. So it might be valuable for me to start doing progressive chances instead, but I don't know, pulling shards is just too much fun for me to pass up. So either way, let's get started, but I wanted to give that little feedback there. Okay, we will start with the summon pool here. So this was the free one that we got from doing the Gear Ascension tournament. Let's see if we get anything here. Okay, we get an epic, that's fine. Wuji, not too familiar with Wuji. The counter-attacking part of that, it seems interesting. A little bit. It's weird that they have... No, it's a big version of Weekend. Okay, interesting. I feel like this might be a reasonable champ if you were to get them early, but obviously not going to help this account at all. Well, let's do the Remnant Summon right away. Here we go. So, we almost have 2 Remnant Summons. I wonder. Let me see if I can... Let me check real quick if I can get some more for a Remnant Summon. So I did check. I do have 2 Curse City rooms that I could potentially get. Since I already started the video, I don't want to go and start building a bunch of champions just to do that. So let's go ahead and do this Remnant Summon. So here we go. All right, we get an epic. Another Mystiliac Priest. I have so many of them on this account. Like I said, won't do the fragment summons. We did the summon pool. All right, let's hop into the ancient shards here. I will have to make a little bit of room in the middle of this, but that's not going to be too big of a deal. So let's just jump into it. Let's see what we get. Now, I would really like to hit on a legendary here, but not just because, like, you know, shiny gold. I would love to reset my Mercy tracker. So RSL Helper was down for a very, very long time, for a period of time. Oh my God, back to back? Kymar! We finally got Kymar! Oh, that's so good on this account. That's so good on this account. I have been wanting Kymar forever. And we hit back to back. Oh, baby. Let's go. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Now I have Alice. Of course, most of us have Alice. So that's just a duplicate Alice. Might be good for Faction Guardians, but let's talk about Kymar very quickly and why I'm so excited. I don't have cooldown reduction on my main account. What I've been using has been a combination of Emic and Lady of Erath. So now that I have Kymar, Kymar brings the cooldown reduction by resetting the cooldown of all ally skills, which will help my Seer team become even more effective. I can just pump. I'm very, very excited about that. As well as it resets the cooldown of all ally skills and fills the turn meter of all allies except this champion by 20%. So very excited about that. Yeah, Kymar, a great champion. The A2 is a strip and sleep, and the A1 has poison. It's an AoE hit, places poison if the attack is critical, but also speed in arena battle by 30%. Now it's pretty late getting Kymar on this account. However, I don't have really another champion that can do what he does outside of like rares. Lady of Erath and Emic don't fully reset the skills either, but I also am kind of interested in pairing him with putting him in there with maybe Emic, right? Maybe we take out Lady of Erath, or maybe we leave. I'd probably take out Lady of Erath because I like having the unkillable option a little bit more. But yeah, there's some really good potential here. I'll have to play with it. Now, I currently figured out how to make a team work, so I don't know if it'll be fine or if I really want to bring Kymar and make it better. But regardless, having access to Kymar is very, very big, especially going into hard faction wars. But to finish what I was saying as well, that reset my Mercy tracker. So now I know where my Mercy actually is because I really lost track of it. But I can't believe we hit double back to back and we got Kymar on the main account. This is the main account, by the way. I'm sure if that was the free to play, oh my god, that would be insane. But yeah, this is the main account. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep going because it is still a 2x, but wow, that what an awesome pull there. Lots of points too, right? Like there's a champion chase going on. Let's not forget about that. So lots of points. It looks like I'm gonna need to make a little bit of room, so we'll be right back. All right, we made some room. We have enough room to pull the remaining ancients here, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can get lucky again. That'd be really awesome to hit on even another legendary, although extremely unlikely at this point. I'm curious how close I was to Mercy to get, but regardless, getting back to back, I hit on 0 Mercy on that second legendary. So yeah, that was very, very exciting. Obviously, I'm very, very pumped. Excited to see where we're at on the tournament as well before we head on over to the free-to-play. Hopefully I can carry this luck over to the free-to-play. Okay, another epic. Tayrell, love Tayrell, actually. I will give a little shout out to Tayrell. Tayrell was one of the first epics that I got on this account way back when. Defense in all battles aura was really good for me back then because I didn't have a lot of speed. I also didn't understand speed properly, so I was still running like defense percent boots and stuff. So, you know, he came in really handy, helped me achieve tanky teams, was my decreased defense champion for a long time and decreased attack champion. And this A3 can hit pretty hard as well and decrease turn meter, which was really effective in other areas. So I love Tayrell. Some may argue that he's power crept, but I think if you pull him early on an account, you get him as an early epic, I think he's really, really solid. So we got one more ancient shard left here to go. Let's see what we got going on. All right, we got another rare. So let's take a look at the tournament here, the champion chase. Whoa, wow, yeah, we got a lot of points for the champion chase tournament. Okay, so let me look at the reward track here. So it's 350 for void epics, so 3 of them would be 1,000. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull those real quick. I won't even collect the rewards here because we'll want to collect them all at once. So we'll grab these fragment ones. I'll probably have to make room for one more here, but these will give me 350 points each. And then I'm going to make a little bit of room really quickly and we'll pull the last one. All right, we're pulling the last one here and that should get us enough points for the legendary book. I'm all right with that. As much like I don't need mod on this account that badly. So as much as, you know, those fragments would be worthwhile, I'm in no rush to get mod. She's not really going to change this account at all. I would much rather have the legendary book and improve the champions that I have. Does put me in first place. I know, you know, That's not going to stick. We're going to see crazy numbers here and someone's going to dethrone me from first place, but that's not what I'm about. I'm not really too concerned about that. Let's go over to the free-to-play and see if we can keep this luck rolling. Just tighten it. Let me make sure there's not any additional rewards in here that might affect, like maybe there's there is another ancient. We'll pull that. You know, no reason not to pull this other ancient here. While we have a 2x, right? And an epic. Cool. All right. You know what? I say no reason not to pull it. An argument could have been made to not pull them, to be honest, because my mercies reset. We probably aren't going to go any higher in the champion chase tournament, right? Like, we're probably not going to get anywhere close to 7,500 with the current, number of ancients I have left. So it probably would have been worthwhile to start saving again for future events. But either way, that's a conversation for maybe another time. We are back over here on the free-to-play. Let's pull the Prism Shard first. Would love to hit on this, and then I'll need to make a little bit of room before we start pulling on the ancients. But come on, Prism Shard. Give me something great. And we get an epic. Okay. I can't quite understand Kunichi. 3-turn ally protect when booked. For me, I never really figured out, because I did pull her, I think, on the challenge account maybe, but I couldn't quite figure out how to get her involved. But I do think if you pull her early, you get a weaken, you get a leech, 2-turn ally protect on a 3-turn cooldown is what I mean, and a blocked damage on her when she drops below 50%, which would give you extra protection, right? So, decent champion, I feel like. What do the reviews say? Yeah, I think she's probably pretty decent if you get her early, but even this account, even being free to play, we are not in need of Kenichi. So I need room for 23 ancient shards. Let's go make some room. All right, we made a bunch of room. I don't know what my mercy is. I think it's pretty low, to be honest. So hopefully we can get something here. Without further ado, let's do it. Oh, we got him. We got the dude. I don't know how good he is. Let's look at it. All right, well, let's look at his kit. I can't believe we got him. Okay, let's look at the kit. I've never looked at this guy's kit. So, I mean, I have, but I've never let it sink in, right? So, all right. On the A1, we have attack all enemies. It has a 50% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Will ignore 20% of each target's resistance for each continuous heal buff on this champion. All right, so, I mean, an AoE A1 with a chance to stun, I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, you can't have that be too much higher and be fair, right? You don't want that to be a quarter of the time he hits, he's landing a stun, right? That's going to be pretty OP. So I feel like that's pretty reasonable for an A1. So for the A2, select a target, so single target here. If the target is an enemy, decrease the duration of all buffs on all enemies by 1 turn, places a 5% poison debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and an additional 5% poison for 2 turns for each continuous heal buff on this champion. These debuffs cannot be resisted, then instantly activates all poison debuffs on all enemies. Okay. Interesting. If the target is an ally, increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn, and instantly activates all continuous heal buffs on all allies. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns. Also places a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 2 turns, and another continuous heal for each alive ally for 2 turns. Finally, fills this champion's turn meter by 15% for each buff or debuff placed by this skill. Okay, interesting. I just had Ash on the channel and we were talking about dragon and poison combustion teams. I have the makings for a poison combustion team. I feel like he fits in that pretty well, because even though this targets 1 enemy, it's not even, so it's selecting a target, but this is still AoE poison, and potentially a lot of them, and then instantly activating them as well. I think it could be pretty good, especially if you can stack up a lot of continuous heals on him. So, something to look at on this account for sure. Now, let's look at the faction unity stuff. So, for the A3, attacks 1 enemy before attacking, has 100% chance of removing all buffs from the target and placing the big version of decreased defense and weaken on the target for 2 turns. Will ignore 20% of the target's resistance for each continuous heal buff on this champion, and it's an enemy max HP hit. Interesting. Are they saying it's enemy max HP because of a certain reason, or is it just a flat out enemy HP hit? Let's keep reading and see. With one Sylvan Watcher ally, removes all buffs from all enemies. If the initial target is killed, the buff removal cannot be resisted. 2-faction allies will ignore 5% of the target's defense for each poison debuff on them and each continuous heal buff on this champion. So it's still a single target, but there is a chance to ignore a bunch of defense for if they're under poison and if you're under continuous heal. No cap on that. So theoretically, you could get a lot of ignored defense out of that. 3-faction allies. If the initial target is under a poison debuff, also attacks all other enemies, the damage dealt is proportional to the initial target's max HP. That's where that comes in. And how many poison debuffs are on them. If the initial target is a boss or a minion, the damage dealt is equal to just flat 10% of their max HP. All right, well, that seems pretty interesting. So this is a passive. Will ignore 15% of a target's defense when attacking while under Veil or Perfect Veil. This champion receives 30% less damage from enemies when not under a Veil or Perfect Veil. I kind of don't like that because if I remember correctly, Perfect Veil, I know it reduces damage, but it doesn't reduce it by 30%. I feel like he's just like way tankier when he's not under Veil or Perfect Veil. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. All right, let's move on. Each continuous heal buff on this champion increases their crit rate by 20%. Now, this was something that I found interesting, but not excited about. The reason I say that is because you can't really work around this. I think we also have crit rate in all battles, right? So I think the idea is to try and not build crit rate on this guy, so you can focus more on damage and accuracy. While you don't need that much accuracy because some of this stuff is unresistible, I think some of it does need accuracy, but I just find that too unreliable. I don't know that I can count on that, right? You need 5 continuous heals. Oh my god, I have Nice. I forgot about that. I have Nice on this account. Who can pair with this guy? Granted, the continuous heals don't land on Tagoar here, but the fact that I can pair him with Nice is exciting for me. 2-faction allies, each time a continuous heal buff activates on this champion, fills their turn meter by 8%, okay? Each time a continuous heal buff activates on this champion or an ally, increases this champion's damage by 5%, stacking up to 150%. That's actually a lot. Wow, I am very, very excited about this guy, but the fact that I can pair him with Nice is pretty intriguing. I do think we're going to keep pulling, but wow, I can't believe we got that guy. Wow. Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep pulling. It is 2x, right? That's when we pull our shards on this account. And my mercy is reset on both accounts now too, so I'm happy to have that mercy reset. This has been one of the better shard pulls for me in a very, very long time, and I'm looking forward to learning more about Tagoar there, seeing how I can take advantage of him and his kit. I do want to look at my Sylvan Watchers really quickly here, and we'll see where we're at. I don't think we're going to be very high in the tournament, despite the fact that we hit a legendary. We only hit 1, so I don't expect to be very high in the tournament here. However, yeah, okay, so that's reasonable. 3,000 points. How close are we to that? Not even. Yeah, see, that's the downside. I didn't have a lot of ancients going into that, so not super surprised there. But I did want to take a look at my Sylvan Watchers faction. Estrid as well. Do we have any... He can steal continuous heals. I don't think Estrid provides continuous heals. Her healing is just passive, but yeah, wow. Just wow. I don't know. Does Naya have any continuous heals? Okay, well, still very, very excited about getting him some serious possibilities now, especially with Nice for like wave clear, Estrid for support. I could see like Nice, Estrid. I don't know that Ruark would really make the cut, but then I could see, you know, an Ornn getting involved and within a poison team for hard dragon, so that I can finally just go ahead and knock that out on this account because I don't have that on farm. So yeah, Blade Chorister Tagoar, I'm excited to have you on the team. Well, guys, that was a fun one, a crazy one. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. Best way to support my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.